It is a true man's part not to err, but it is also noble of a man to perceive his error. Knowledge without justice ought to be called cunning rather than wisdom. Pay attention to your enemies, for they are the first to discover your mistakes. Man is the measure of all things. Everything existing in the universe is the fruit of chance and necessity. Wait for the wisest of all counselors to judge you, time. The worst of all deceptions is self-deception. Character is destiny. No one that encounters prosperity does not also encounter danger. To find yourself, think for yourself. Life is short, the art long. Skillful pilots gain their reputation from storms and tempest. Small opportunities are often the beginning of great enterprises. Do not trust all men, but trust men of worth. The former course is silly, the latter a mark of prudence. Men who wish to know about the world must learn about it in its particular details. The energy of the mind is the essence of life. The art of living well and the art of dying well are one. World is decay, life is perception. The happy man is the one who has a healthy body, a wealthy soul, and a well-educated nature. But what difference does it make who spoke the words? They were uttered for the world. Human behavior flows from three main sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge. The proper bulk is better than the big bulk. Withdraw into yourself and look. Time is the soul of this world. Life is the flight of the alone to the alone. Silence is better than unmeaning words. It is in virtue of unity that beings are beings. The world is knowable, harmonious, and good. Thy foolish passions, learn thou to subdue them. Wisdom thoroughly learned will never be forgotten. A fool is known by his speech, and a wise man by silence. Concern should drive us into action and not into depression. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Silence at the proper season is wisdom, and better than any speech. The greater the difficulty, the more the glory in surmounting it. We became men once, and one cannot become twice. Worthless people live only to eat and drink. People of worth eat and drink only to live. Hope is the only good that is common to all men. Those who have nothing else possess hope still. Time is the wisest of all things that are, for it brings everything to light. The past is certain, the future obscure. If there is a change, there must be something that changes, yet does not change. Intellect is the swiftest of things, for it runs through everything. The way of living virtuously is by never doing ourselves what we blame in others. All things are from water, and all things are resolved into water. What man is happy? He who has a healthy body, a resourceful mind, and a docile nature. A multitude of words is no proof of a prudent mind. We live not, in reality, on the summit of a solid earth, but at the bottom of an ocean of air. Place is the greatest thing, as it contains all things. In all things of nature, there is something marvelous. Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food. Education is an ornament in prosperity and a refuge in adversity. Wisdom outweighs any wealth. Love is all we have, the only way that each can help the other. Success is dependent on effort. We are not separated from spirit, we are in it. Wisdom begins in wonder. Misfortune shows those who are not really friends. Pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. Do not say a little in many words, but a great deal in a few. He is the richest who is content with the least. Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens. The unexamined life is not worth living. Nothing exists except atoms and empty space. Everything else is opinion. Friendship is a single soul dwelling in two bodies. Practice yourself, for heaven's sake, in little things, and thence proceed to greater. The gift of truth excels all other gifts. The educated differ from the uneducated as much as the living from the dead. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. Happiness is the meaning and the purpose of life, the whole aim and end of human existence. It is folly for a man to pray to the gods for that which he has the power to obtain by himself. Not what we have, but what we enjoy, constitutes our abundance. It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. Music, then, is simply the result of the effects of love on rhythm and harmony. Get not your friends by bare compliments, but by giving them sensible tokens of your love. The oldest, shortest words, yes and no, are those which require the most thought. Music and rhythm find their way into the secret places of the soul. Only the educated are free. True friends visit us in prosperity only when invited, but in adversity they come without invitation. If you do not expect the unexpected, you will not recognize it when it arrives. It is not what you do, but how you do it that counts. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. The aim of the wise is not to secure pleasure, but to avoid pain. The most powerful weapon on earth is the human soul on fire. Nature never deceives us. It is always we who deceive ourselves. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. The measure of a man is what he does with power. The end of life is to be like God, and the soul following God will be like him. The eye through which I see God is the same eye through which God sees me.